Surprised I got it done this quick. How's it going, everyone? I'll be starting the show once everything's all going good. I'm going to wait for every one of you to sit down and be quiet. No, I'm not. Hello. So, yo dudes, check this out. I got a transition. I need to adjust when it formally transitions from one to the next. Let me see if I can actually do that real quick, just because I'm that kind of nerd. It should be not 1200 milliseconds, but 1450 milliseconds. That is 250 milliseconds to make a difference. Anyway, check this out. We have a new transition. How cool is that, huh? Yeah, so anyway, that was kind of cool. I want to thank Kamal on the art team for putting that one together for me, basically just because it could be done. Thank you so much, everyone. Welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons /live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. Thank you so much for being here. I'm SSG's Community Manager Cordovan, and boy, are we having an exciting time, are we not? Yesterday, we released Masterminds of Sharn. You can find out more, if for some reason you don't know about it, at DDO.com/Sharn. So far, the feedback's been real nice and real good. We have a few bugs we're working on. Of course, you know, a big expansion like this is going to be a few bugs. So we're going to be working on a patch. I'm assuming, given today's already Wednesday, and the pressures of getting the work that had to be done to release, I'm guessing maybe early next week on like a more formal patch. And that will probably be the patch that'll bring back one of the more significant issues we haven't yet fixed, and that is that we had to disable the Saga NPCs for the cogs. Yesterday after finding a bug there. So it's going to be just a couple of days yet before those folks are back. We did have a quick hot fix this morning to correct an issue involving access to the Masterminds of Sharn, and we're good to go. So so far things are I think going pretty well, and we've, like I said, I kept most of the day on Twitch here yesterday, just kind of checking out people's live streams, stopping in chat, doing a few giveaways. Things like that. So thanks. I know I don't want to name everybody because I know there would be probably at least 24 names, but some of the big ones I know I saw a lot yesterday. Strimtom did a great job. Voodoo Spice, I know him and the High Lords even attempted the raid, if I recall correctly. And I'll leave it up to them to kind of make their announcements on that sort of thing. But yeah, some cool times at Twitch Land, some cool times in game. Sorry for not announcing when the worlds were open. I assure you, no, I can't say, I'm not going to lie. I was playing Sharn until like 2:30 this morning, and then I fell asleep, and then I woke up, and was like, oh my god, I gotta get to work! And then I got into the car and got to work, and sometime during that time period, the worlds of DDO opened from the hotfix, and I was not aware. So I ended up not announcing the uptime. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But anyway, so that happened. I hope everyone's having a good time. Bad community manager, I know, right? So, hey, it happens. Maybe you've been there. I don't know, but having a good time running through that stuff, though. I'll tell you that much. And let me actually turn down my mic just a smidge. I think I'm peeking out a little bit when I'm getting too loud. So, I don't know. Any questions that you have for me? That sounds great. I'm going to be on Galanda in just a minute. I know there's a lot of people who aren't going to really be stepping foot into Sharn until, let's just say, perhaps this weekend with their guildies or friends or whatever their static group might be. So I want to not get too deep into Sharn here during the live streams for these first couple of weeks. But I'm going to start. I'm going to show a little bit of the like kind of open public areas. And I'm just going to probably run the first quest, maybe first 2 quests, depending on how it goes. So if that's a concern for you, well, let me know in whatever respective chat you're in, and I'll see what I can do. But also, you know, that's kind of why I've just got this screen up here initially, so I can do a little Q&A, just in case there are some folks who don't want to see this stuff yet. Now, if you're on the other end of the spectrum and you're just like, oh yeah, I want to see that stuff, Twitch has already got you covered. YouTube has already got you covered. I've seen some good kind of raid footage and quest footage. I know there was one group on Twitch doing Reaper 10, kind of. They kind of got pwned, but they also they were a high quality group, don't get me wrong. And I saw High Lords also do their thing and all that, so very cool. I probably am running it at 15. If my calendar serves me correct, then I am on Galanda, which is where I've got my super duper high quality Max Pew build, which I believe is a teenager. So I think that should fit pretty nicely into Sharn. Okay. Hello, everyone on Facebook there, too. Guess you called off work. Nice. No, I did not call off work. There was a time period, maybe around 1 o'clock in the morning, this morning, where I was like, you know, I bet I could just do the show from home today. But then the reality is, no, I have a job to do, and that job is to help funnel your post-Sharn feedback to the proper channels, along with doing, you know, social media posting and this live stream and a whole bunch of other good things that I have to do. So I do have actual work to get done, which brought me into the office here today. Yes, Kobold Killa, Galanda, level 16. Yeah, that should be perfect for Sharn. Because even though I'm level 16, I've got the power level of a level... The city of Stormreach is abuzz with the news that a ship has arrived to ferry passengers to Sharn, the City of Powers. The ship's captain seeks heroes looking for a grand adventure in the clouds. Speak to Captain Albin Tranmore from Stormreach Harbor to set sail for Sharn. Can I be honest? I missed that yesterday. This is the first time I've actually heard my voice in the game client here. Because I logged in on my main character while having all sorts of Twitch chats up yesterday, and just kind of did the DDO thing that probably some of you all do too, which is just sort of kind of log in, step away, make a sandwich, whatever, be busy, and then at some point get back in and start the keyboard and whatever. And so then it occurred to me all of a sudden, I was like, oh, I missed my one chance to hear myself. And then I was like, oh, okay. But hey, there we go. New server. I can check it out again when I'm actually on my own. So. For the expansion, did we bring Keith Baker into the SSG office? No. And unfortunately, no, I don't have an interview scheduled with him. I think that was mostly done through kind of remote recording studios, you know, a professional voice recording studio, things like that. So it was, I think, done for essentially our typical VO process there. Oh, thank you so much, Stephen. All right, let me switch scenes here. There we go. Hey, that's going to work out nice. Yeah. I had worked on the transition earlier, and because I wanted an alpha channel, but it just was too much work to have like a decaying alpha channel or whatever for this. So I wanted to make the transition kind of fall right when the airship hits the median point. And I was able to dial that in, I think, pretty good. Let me take a look at that myself, because, hey, I'll make you guys wait for me. Yeah, there we go. It looks pretty seamless as far as I'm concerned. All right. So, I am not yet in Sharn. I do not yet have a group. I am on Kobold Killa. This character is not built for power, let me say. Right up front. No, I love this character, but this character is meant to be... Its entire build purpose is to go pew 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 as often as possible. And actually, I just thought of, there was something that just came out the other day that made me say, ooh, I've got another one to add to the max pew build. Now I can't remember which one that is now. But so, you can get to Sharn from Guild Airship Access, or you can reclaim the bundle here, because it's a new server, I have to reclaim the bundle, or you can just use the boarding pass directly. Oh, Tron, yeah. Now that you have arrived in the wondrous city of Sharn, Captain Dranmore suggests that you head to the Adventurers Guild to find out more about current events in the city. Speak to Summer Corridor of the Clifftop Adventurers Guild in the Clifftop Power District of Sharn.
Hey, that was me.
First time I heard that one too. Outside of the recording studio, or I put it together. Using one of these microphones right here. Yes, it was an amateur production. And it may not even stay, to be honest. It was kind of a situation where, towards the end of production, there was a realization that just a couple of lines got missed in VO, and it wasn't really worth, rescheduling a whole VO session for. But if there is a future kind of makeup session or something, it's quite possible that'll get replaced. Doug, I'll have to pass that suggestion along. I like that idea about putting Ataraxia Three Barrel Cove back. I'm not quite sure why that was taken away. You can't red box any of the quests, huh? I will have to look at that. I don't know. Yeah, we'll just go on hard here. Oh, hey! Thanks, Deca. What level range are heroic quests in Sharn? They are level 15 and 16. And I think that's it. Yeah, 15 and 16, I'm pretty sure. I will have to look into that browsing monkey. I'm not familiar. I will also need to double check. Do you know if that's just like a permanent thing or only on first time flagging, where once you've achieved that level of flagging in the quest, then for future entrances you could red box? I'll have to double check, make sure we have that one locked down, and see if there's something we need to do there. I don't know what effect that's going to have on the ice games, Elizabeth. On Facebook. It's a very good question. I don't know. Feel free to walk in to the first quest.
She can help you contact Lucien Fong.
So, Shoemaker, that is working as intended. When we release an expansion that is explicitly eventually going to end up as a DDO store item, we need to have an upflow button in-game to reach said object. But if said object is not yet ready for sale, because at the moment we are selling Sharn exclusively through DDO.com/Sharn, it doesn't have anything to link to yet. But when that link is established, then that NPC or that Buy Now button will link to the item in the DDO store. I know, right? That's a really nice outfit. Let's see. Do I have any kind of... Oh, I can bring out the Shield Guardian. Let's see what I can do. I've been enjoying the Shield Guardian quite a bit. It's pretty cool. Oh, God. What was I thinking? Opening this up right before the quest.
Isabek tells you to take the elevator up to the terrace, then speak to Lucy and Vaughn. Her employer wants to pass along some information about the Storm Ridge beacon.
Don't know what this is, but might as well put it there. Alright. How many of your guildies are doing this and you don't know? You think they're AFK. They're not AFK. They're doing exactly what I'm doing now. Oh, golly gosh. I guess I need to make room for the treasure that will soon arrive. Nice. Music, this has been asked, I know, a couple of times. Music is a combination of two people's work, one of which is longtime DDO music contributor Matthew Harwood, and the other is relatively new contributor, but longtime contributor to Lord of the Rings. As a matter of fact, the person is a member of the Lord of the Rings team itself. Goes by the Lotro name Darth Celtics, one Bill Champagne. And he does music for Lotro, and has for years, and stepped in and did some music for Sharn. I don't know specifically which parts are Matt and which parts are him. He would obviously know, but I just haven't really had the opportunity to go track by track and ask. So that's cool. And I, yesterday, was able to get a raw OGG file put together of the entire soundtrack, basically as one long, like, I think it was clocked in at something like 40-some minute track. Somewhere between 35 and 40-some minutes. Can't remember what the final runtime ended up being. And I'm going to get that out on YouTube as kind of a soundtrack check in the relatively near future. Now, because I got those files separate, there are some other things we can do as well, like, you know, kind of have put them up on the thing, you know, that thing, sometime in the future. But for now, at least, within the next, certainly I want to get it out by the weekend, kind of a one long track version of the soundtrack. Oh, I realize I never actually explained why I was late today. Besides, perhaps just getting into the office, with plenty of time to spare, just an insane amount of time to spare. I also, my keyboard completely died on me at 11:57 a.m. this morning. And I had to scramble all of a sudden and get a regular wired USB keyboard hooked up, along with a wired mouse. So that's why I was a few minutes late. Typically for the live stream, just for the purposes of kind of keeping the flow going, I tend not to sit around and spend a lot of time reading NPC dialogue, but I would suggest, of course, that you do so. I think the story in Sharn here is pretty interesting. So you'll learn a lot more about what's going on, both in Sharn and in Eberron in general. An Artificer Warlock. Now I can't. Now here's the main thing: is I can't remember the new pew. But why I am an Artificer Warlock is it occurred to me that if I was an Artificer Warlock, I could both shoot Eldritch Blasts and have a rune arm equipped, and eventually get a Lantern Archon on my shoulder and or summoned, and then I can be a max pew build to have simultaneous pews going at one time. Pew, 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 pew. And I can even say summon hirelings that can pew themselves and all sorts of other pews to be had. And so the entire purpose of this build is not for strength, nor for quality, but is in fact for max pew. Yes, that's the one. Inquisitive Tree, of course. Because then I can pew from either hand here. Yes. That's the one. I knew there was something new that came out that applied very specifically to my max pew build, and now I couldn't think of what it was. So, alright, let me just revive myself here. Good enough. Simultaneous. Yes, the intention is basically in the same attack chain. Ideally, it would be exact simultaneous, a la like Robotac or something like that, which is kind of where the inspiration came from, because of the big, all those little things flying out. I kind of wanted to see what level of that I could get in DDO in a build. But realistically, I had to adjust my reasoning to the attack chain as a whole. So I had my Vistani Knife Fighter Rogue, my level 15 Vistani Knife Fighter Rogue last night. And, honestly, most of my day yesterday was spent just like constantly refreshing the forums and social media and doing replies and tracking things down and keeping Twitch up to date and hanging out in people's chat and doing giveaways, etc., etc. Making sure I also was communicating with the people I needed to communicate with here and all that sort of thing. So I didn't get a huge opportunity to just sit down and play, but I did get the chance, like I said, I was up until 2:30 in part because I wanted to actually just kind of get in there and play some of the quests myself. And I was able to run the first 3 quests with my regular group, and we did it first time entry on Heroic Elite, and did quite well. I didn't die until the 3rd quest end fight, which was pretty good, I felt, for myself and my particular character. And that went pretty well. And also, by the way, it does look like there might be a little bit of a bug in the kind of spawn rate at that end fight, and that's something I know that Flimsy has been taking a look at. So. Exactly. I need to be, that's the main drawback about Inquisitive. But it does mean that I have the equivalent version of, it doesn't have to be Warlock anymore for my Max Pew build. My Max Pew build can delve far beyond a warlock, because the opportunity for pew is now significantly increased. And it's now, frankly, equivalent to the warlock itself. Well, I know for a fact, actually, the place to look for jobs, if you ever do kind of have the skill set and interest in perhaps legit applying for a job at SSG, that can be done through daybreak.com/careers. We utilize their human resources because it makes sense. And so you can just get in touch there, and I believe we might indeed have a QA position open right now. This is not a remote position. This is an on-site position, and one that will require you to basically be local, because we are not supporting, I believe, relocation expenses on this particular gig. But that doesn't mean there aren't people who qualify. So, if you're interested, check that out.
Unlocks the elevator shaft, as well as the nearby door. You won't be getting up to the terrace this way.
Actually, you know what? I don't think it's QA. I was wrong. It's not QA. It's CS, customer service. I think QA are not actually for someone. Sorry, that was my dumb brain using the wrong initiative. CS is what we're looking for. On-site CS must be local. Will not pay for relocation. And you can read more about that particular game at daybreak.com/careers. Commuting from Wales, yeah, that might be a little challenging. I agree. I don't actually need to shrine, because it's not like it's going to help this character.
Final group of attackers pops through. Piercing impression of the terrace.
No, I mean, I specifically built this character to be at maximum efficiency without needing to shrine.
The assault on the tower seems to have ended.
Push to have an electric warlock pack, and your artificer blend will be legit. You're right. You're right. I don't know that legitimacy was actually ever. I sort of am specifically not going for legitimacy on this build. It was meant as basically a quick joke that's turned into my main character on Galanda, because hey, that happens. So, you know.
The figure on the sky coach ahead matches the description of Lucien Vaughn. He seems unruffled by the attack.
Let's get the dialogue going, and then we'll hit that chest. Or not. It's fine. Javor, I don't specifically know why that decision was made. Hey, Gentle Ben, why don't you pop on over into the circle here? You were so happy to see the dinosaur because it raises hopes for the Isle of Dread? Sure does.
Think for a moment that you can challenge me in this city. You're just setting yourself up for a fall.
Vaughn's companion makes a gesture, and the terrace collapses beneath you.
Thank you so much, Greg. At this point, you can either explore the cogs, or you can recall out and get back to the top docks. Growler, I would rather, just due to time, get started on the second quest. Because I think I've got time to do that second quest here. And wrap things up pretty well. Nino Cepha, or however you say it, Safelic? Whatever you say that, sorry. Wrangling your name. You can turn off slow fall if you need to.
You step into Zelith Prospire's tidy office. The Inquisitive calls out to you. Step inside, quickly.
I can't imagine we would allow someone to export their ignore list. That seems like a really bad idea. Okay, yeah, I understand. Bruce Shepard, no problem. Level requirements for Sharn, I believe, are pretty open. But the level to enter the quest on Heroica is the level of quest on Heroica is 15. Yep. Yes, Chris on Facebook. This music was specifically written for Sharn. Is there a Hall of Heroes in Sharn? No. There is, however, a quick transport to your airship, which will get you where you need to go. Oops.
Zelith pulls a switch and nods toward the back of the building. You hear the scrape of stone on stone.
This dungeon, master narration, by the way, Satine Phoenix. We also had Rudy Rutenberg, Kyle Vogt, Keith Baker.
You walk out into the streets of Cogswell.
Awesome VO work.
Towers loom high above,
My
so
opinion.
tall they block out the night sky.
Except for
Anyone
that
who knows
idiot
its
who
great
starts.
power
I don't know who
still
that
knows.
guy is.
The rain of blood has fallen here, and it's up to you to mop up the mess. Despite the slurred words, you've learned more about the Dask Boromar rivalry from the poor man. You wonder what the other residents of the neighborhood might have to say.
If you like this DM work and maybe you're just now being introduced to these fine folks, you can check out their work at mazearcana.com. Specifically, the Inkwell Society is a Sharn and Eberron-based tabletop campaign that they do kind of live stream tabletop stuff with. And you can see that at mazearcana.com. And they're awesome. And we've had them on the show here before as well.
Imagine beating your end right after
And, if I recall, Rudy Rutenberg is, in some level, just now getting ready to give away a Sharn Ultimate Edition somewhere. No, we don't typically release with guest passes to our premium expansions. By the
thugs
way,
blocking
oh
your
hey,
way.
I did get something. Could have sworn during that fight last night my treasure bag was empty. Huh. So I have that written down as a note to pass along for my own personal playthrough. Well, that's bad, because that means it's not consistent. Which is the best kind of bug. Yeah. Sure, you know, I actually would be down for showing this ridiculous build off and putting together a little work, like more like actual theory crafting, build crafting work onto it. I think nowadays, you know, rather than although warlocks are still plenty powerful, but I think it might make more sense to thematically fit with the max Q build to go Rune Arm Inquisitive Artificer. That makes the most sense. And possibly, if I really want to play up the Robotech angle, I could go Warforged as well, which might also make a lot of sense. Yeah.
The doors to the gambling hall are wide open and its chairs are empty. Though the nearby tables are still covered with
But if I
food and
recall, the
drinks.
core was to make sure I had the ability to cast the Summon Monster
Also,
Scroll
still lodged in the
that
victim's
would
side.
get
Also
you
noticed
the
several
Lantern
patches of
Archon.
bombs. The incriminating
Before you get the
information
Lantern
includes
Archon
ledger
from whatever Epic Destiny
pretty
that is.
price on the black market.
I really sent
I wonder why the murderer would be fucking up.
Um,
Searching the gambling hall raised more questions.
so I think that plus the Eldritch Blast is why I originally went
Unbelievable.
Warlock.
Clamoring outside the door. A chest full of coins is left in the box.
But you could totally do that on a Inquisitive Artificer build, and it might
You can tell that there's
thematically
more
even
to
be
this
cooler.
than meets the eye. Strike down the last of this group of Dask thugs and check to make sure there are no more nearby. Now to leave the way you came. You've learned all you can about these first two crimes. You head back to the Wolf Cave.
Max reroll the end chest on. You want me to max reroll the end chest on this quest just to kind of get a whole bunch of chances at the whatever named items in here? For you, for the DDO community, I will do this. Unless I get a named item I want.
Zareth unlocks the door, revealing a small lane that runs deeper into the
I already have a treasure elixir, I believe, on this character going on. Because I saw a light pop from the chest, and I'm pretty sure that was me. Oh, an elixir discovery. Again, I'll take one for the team. Do this for you only until I get an item I like. Oh, is that true? So if that's happening, Wile E. Coyote, then that's clearly a bug. Well, I guess we'll find out soon.
The door to the pawn shop is unlocked, just as with the other crime scenes. Inside, the shopkeeper's body lies forgotten alongside all the other cast-offs in her shop. A different body, but the same song. A crossbow bolt dipped in poison, and a palm covered in slashes. Yet this time a new detail catches your eye. A shattered cane bearing Font Arcanotechnic symbol. A closer look at the keg reveals a hidden compartment filled with smoked goods. The murderer could have emptied the pawn shop, and yet only Moore's life was taken. Armed with the finding of Moore, what connects all these gruesome crimes? Some small
All right, so Scott,
they were hidden there.
clearly, if you have purchased the Ultimate Edition of Sharn, you will be getting that Warforged Peacock.
The last
We're going to make sure of it. My recommendation is to get in touch with account support through help.standingstonegames.com. However, it may be that you had something like I had in my inventory here at the start of the show that maybe just is kind of lost in a sea of inventory. So double check to make sure that you've redeemed your claim ticket that's delivered to your account after you enter the Sharn code in the DDO store. So just to kind of go through the process here, you'll go to ddo.com/Sharn, you'll click through the buy page or whatever. The email that you give Digital River when you make that purchase will be the email address where the keys are sent. And so make sure that you've got those keys set up. Now, you may be asked to create an account. This is not a DDO account, nor a Standing Stone Games account directly. This is a Digital River account. You don't have to do it, but the reason you probably want to is so that you can relook up orders. And so that would be in the future if you were in a situation where, like you are, where it's like, why? Either I haven't redeemed it or I have redeemed it and it's broken. You'll be able to reapply that code if you need to. Get access to and reapply that code into the DDO store through a redeemed code and see if that resolves your problem. And if that doesn't resolve your problem, then get in touch with account support. Or bypass all of that and get in touch with account support.
Willing to answer your questions about the murders. Zolka steps through a dimension door, his face glowing with the smoke column of man who thinks he's gone. So you're too busy dealing with this troll boss to notice. Yet another casualty of this bloody night. Now, to meet up with Zealot.
That's a good question, Growler. I have been, frankly, so busy in recent weeks that I don't directly know which all DMs did which all quests specifically, especially because we got all those Explorer dungeons and stuff, too. So after I've run through the content here a couple of times, I'll have a much better ability to answer that question. This one's Satine, though. That much I can tell you. The last one was Keith Baker. Can I tell us more about the new Epic Destiny elixirs in the DDO store? Sure, I would be happy to. I'm not quite sure. Let me know specifically what it is that you would like me to answer about them, and I'll do my best to do so. Detect secret doors not enough. Oh, selector that comes up when you use a potion. Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. Let me do that at the end of the quest here.
You find a security ledger embossed with Font Arcanotechnic symbol. A quick glance reveals that every victim had worked for Vaughn. It's too big of a coincidence to overlook, especially since a note in the margin talks about cleaning up loose ends. You stoop down to search the contents of Leo's collection.
It should be a barter window. I, again, have kind of just entrusted QA to do their thing. But my understanding is basically it redeems an item. You'll purchase the Elixir Discovery. You'll get that elixir. You'll click on the elixir and a barter window will pop up with a list of epic destinies that potion will apply to. You will select the epic destiny you want to apply the potion to, and then you'll chug it. And then for the next 3 hours, pausing in public areas, you will get all the epic destiny XP that would have gone to whatever destiny you had active will instead go to the epic destiny that you drank the potion for. And that XP will also go into that sphere for the purposes of karma XP. And if you overwrite one epic destiny elixir with a different epic destiny elixir, it'll replace, well, it'll basically pause the one that you have, overwrite it with the one that you now have, and when that one disappears, the one underneath should begin to tick down again.
Talking to the residents has given you more insight into life in Cogsgate. A familiar voice echoes from behind this door.
And it is instead, it is not both. We're not giving you twice the XP, essentially. What we are allowing you to do, and really the impetus for this, was a relatively effective way we could bring this into the game where you could have one epic destiny active while XP was in a different one. Because, frankly, over the years and based in large part on your feedback, along with our own, it's not always as much fun to play in an off destiny. And especially if you've got like a destiny you really like that's all capped off, that really works for your character and you want to do it. We want to remove the, quote, requirement that some have felt to sort of switch destinies before raids or switch destinies before certain content. And this allows you to really just kind of use the destiny you want, regardless of which destiny you are applying XP to. And in terms of the method by which this is done, it really just kind of came down to what was the most effective and development conscious way to bring this about. So that's sort of why it ended up being an item like it is.
Sometimes it's a stranger who holds the knife. Sometimes it's family. I let blood cloud my judgment, and I'll pay for that every day. But I'll keep going. I'll move on to the next crime and the next. You can't just stay inside when trouble rains down. Not even if it never stops.
Alright, Gladstar, let me get you up. Let me take care of that for you. I don't want you to have to waste your time going back. Especially since I'm going to be opening the store anyway, based on player request. So let us first do that. Alright, next, I had a question on the Elixir Discovery. Keeps wanting to see that. So let me call up an Elixir. Or not, oh yeah, Discovery. Elixir. Seeing the Elixir Discovery, where is that? Crafting XP. There we go. Treasure Hunter Elixir. Moderate. Greater. Lesser. Okay. Okay. Then next, we wanted to see the Destiny thing. So. Where's that one? It's in the new DDO store? Yeah. Call of Destiny. We're going to have to work on the keywording on that one. Alright, so allows you to earn experience in one Epic Destiny while another is active for a short time. Yep, that's just like I said, single use. You do need to have it unlocked. So don't, you do have to have that Destiny in particular, or that quadrant of the Destiny even in particular, unlocked if you need to. And this character is actually not epic, so I'm not even sure if it's going to let me actually redeem this. But let me give it a shot anyway. Okay, where did that go? Oh, is it just applied? No. Maybe? Yeah, let me log out and log back in real quick, but that's what it is. Which I will pass along, by the way. Oh, or maybe I just need to do it outside of a quest. That's what it is. I'm going to have to do this outside of a quest. That's why it wasn't causing me troubles. Alright, I have a request to reroll loot as much as possible until I get something awesome. In which case I will stop. Yep. Oh, it's in the gargantuan bag. Okay. Thank you. There we go. Call of Destiny. Alright, so yeah, you'll click on the item that's delivered, and then it'll basically say Call of Destiny, and then exactly, for the, whichever one you want it to go to. I'm not epic level yet, so I don't think I can actually apply this, but let me redeem it. And yep, it is minimum level 20 to consume, so you cannot consume it early. You do have to have that Shirati Champion unlocked, for example, in this, and then you would just consume this at the proper level, and then for the next 3 hours, all that epic Destiny XP and Karma XP will go to the proper place. Alright. So that's pretty cool. Any other questions? We've got a couple minutes left in the show. I know Samus Garobo is going to be taking over here in just a smidge. I know he was doing some streaming yesterday, getting his characters ready for Sharn, so I believe this afternoon he should be doing some Sharn, and that'll be at twitch.tv/Samus Garobo, and he's going to be hosted on DDO Stream here in a bit. Also, I'm going to be hosting a lot of Sharn stuff on DDO Stream for the next, say, 24 hours or so. So if you are interested in checking this stuff out, or maybe just kind of a place to hang out with other DDO peeps, maybe give it a shot. Let me, as we're getting toward the end of the show here, let me just quick mention, I am going to get you three a DDO points code in the in-game mail later today. Thanks very much for joining me. I mean hosting DDO content on DDO Stream. Basically, I've been playing host to a whole bunch of streamers when other shows are not active on DDO Stream. So the goal is to get a whole bunch of DDO on DDO Stream over the next 48 hours or so. Run Legendary Charm next time. Try to find those filigrees. I can. It's not going to be in Galanda, though, as I don't have a character ready on G-Land. So it'll probably be a couple weeks yet. Because on Kyber I will. I've not heard of plans to re-release the Racial +2 AP tome. I imagine that'll be coming back at some point in the future. Same with plus 20 hearts. All right, and before I call it out, or before I end the show, let me just do a real quick ask, because I know it's coming. What is the bonus? The bonus is... a Strength in Numbers weekend. So that would be a 5% buddy boost, essentially 5% XP for every member in your party, other than yourself, through Sunday. I don't have it listed here whether it's just parties or parties and raids, but typically when we go 5%, it's parties and raids. So that's likely to be the case, I would think, and that will be kicking off tomorrow. Good time, Sean. And I hope you're enjoying Sharn. I know it's been going pretty good for me, and so far for everyone else. We are working on a patch for next week. So hopefully keep on sending in those bug reports if you see them. We're keeping a close eye on your feedback here, and we want to thank you very, very much for playing Dungeons & Dragons Online. All right, have a great day, everyone. I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.